Well, well, well.
Palantir is the gift that keeps on giving. Ticker symbol PLTR is the little engine that could, and it keeps ripping. And in reality, that stock is what I guess all degenerate retail traders like myself wish we YOLO'd all of our money into. And in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down why I personally believe it's gonna keep going higher. We just got its earnings, and I wanna focus on one specific part of its earnings that tells me this thing is, yes, it's already clearly a monster, but I think this is growing into something that's even more of a monstrosity. So very excited to talk about what in the world is going down with PLTR, Palantir, one of the most dominant stocks of the entire year. Just in case you missed it, just in case you're sleeping under a rock, you might have missed the fact that Palantir stock surges after company reports first $1 billion quarter. Folks, you heard me right. The first billion. That's billion with a B. And obviously the analysts are really jacked up. Check this one out. Palantir blowout Q2 shows path to 1 trillion market cap. That would be about a 2.5x increase from where we're at right now. That's a lot of dollar signs. Just for the sake of posterity, I am filming this right after the market closed today, Tuesday, August the 5th. S&P 500 closes lower today, Tuesday, weighed down by tariff fears and poor economic data. Just so you know, the overall market not far off of its all-time high, clocking it to close out the month of July, and thus far the start of August. It's not been horrible, but it definitely hasn't been good, but that's not really what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about this guy right here, right after the market closed on Monday. We got the numbers from Palantir, and man, oh man, they were impressive. In fact, they were so impressive that at open, we hit a new all-time high of 176.33. As of market close, it is officially up 125+% year to date, putting its market cap in the realm of $409 billion. And if you're wondering where that puts it on the overall leaderboard, yes, Nvidia is number one, but you don't have to scroll that far to find right here, 23, Palantir leapfrogging over Home Depot, coming in just above $400 billion. And remember the whole Dan Ives thing of going to 1 trillion? Well, that's the 2.5x, and you could do the math here. But like I said, this thing has a lot of potential. And why is that happening? Well, it just had earnings where this is honestly a very fair clip of how many of us feel watching this time and time again. I get it. I know a lot of people are calling it a bubble. I know the short sellers, the bears keep telling you it's gonna fall, but it turns out the bulls are the one counting all of the dollars. Palantir stock popped 6% after blowout quarter, driven by AI and efficiency demand. Palantir shares jumped after the software analytics company surpassed second quarter estimates and boosted its outlook. It didn't just surpass them, it blew them out of the water. Revenues grew by 48% and topped $1 billion in quarterly revenue for the first time ever. CEO Alex Karp called the results a once-in-a-generation, truly anomalous quarter during an earnings call with analysts on Monday, but it seems to be one of those things where every single time they have an earnings call, it is a quote-unquote, what was it, truly anomalous quarter, as in they're always just crushing. Now, very quickly, for my viewers who want more of like the specific details of the earnings, here's what you need to know, and then I want to hop into the most impressive thing I've seen in quite a while. So sales beat, obviously, 1 billion. They were expecting just less than that. EPS also beat. U.S. commercial, well, up 93% year over year. Customer count up 43%. The outlook for Q3, the upcoming quarter, crushing on sales, crushing on operating. It just every part of this beat. It beat. Sales, operating profit. You can see every number is higher than expectation. So no surprise that Palantir gapped up to a new all-time high. And even with all of that, yes, this is impressive what you're seeing on the screen. But what you see on the screen now is what I happen to find the most impressive. Let me quickly explain what's going on. First, you're going to notice the rule of 40 frontier and then also the rule of 80 frontier. On the bottom, the x-axis, you're going to see the adjusted operating margin. And then on the y-axis, the year-over-year revenue growth. Both are with respect to the most recent quarter. So the way you get your numbers is the cumulative value of these two things together, as in the operating margin plus the revenue growth, and then that sum of those two is going to give you the end result. Above 40 is considered to be good, above 80 is considered to be phenomenal, and Palantir marked this all out basically with the universe companies that are kind of in their sphere, and as you can see, it beats all of them. 94. You're going to see 40 48% growth, 46% operating margin. You put those two things together, 94%. This thing is a monster. No matter how you look at it, forwards, backwards, inside out, does not matter. Compared to its universe of competition, Palantir is dominant. And in fact, when you start to compare it against everyone, not even necessarily its direct competitors, the only other one that I'm really checking out that really beats it is Nvidia, which we also know is the world's biggest company and also has lights out numbers recently. It's on a historic run, very similar to Palantir. In fact, if you just had these two stocks all year, imagine how green your account would look. So unless it hasn't been clear, I want to be very specific here. Obviously, this video is a little bit more related to the idea of investing and do we have a core company that is growing and growing and growing? And basically by all metrics, yes, Palantir is one of the monsters in terms of fundamental growth. But what's even cooler than that is the people running the company. Check out what their CEO, Alex Karp, had to say. The growth rate of our business has accelerated radically. After years of investment on our part and derision by some, the skeptics are admittedly fewer now, having been defanged and bent into a kind of submission. Yet we see no reason to pause, to relent here. What a quote. That is something that she just add a little bit of background music and it gets you amped up at the gym. Man, not only do we just see the pure numbers getting better and better and better, it feels like just the people running the company are obviously worth a high amount of respect. So the TLDR is this: there is a leadership team that has come together and they are lights out. There's a company in the right place in the right time with phenomenal growth that is also lights out. When you put those two things together, you get the exact performance of Palantir, which is up in excess of 125% year to date, worth $400+ billion, and it is clearly eyeing up 2 trillion, which for those of you who don't have a calculator handy, that's a 250% increase from right here. I must say, I am not a trader of Palantir, but I am without a doubt a very happy investor. That's what I have for you now. I would welcome all of your questions, comments, and concerns in the comment section below. I'll be getting back to as many of you as I possibly can. Other than that, I appreciate the good vibes. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.